Here, but for now, we've got football at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hey, eat. Hey, check. Big air. Hey, go orange. Switch.
Melvin Gordon, the two-time Pro Bowler. And he's upended after a game.
They can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. They're going to need some therapy after this. Bravo. 55 is my guy, 55.
To throw, Rivers. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close, they expect a lot out of the 24-year-old Hunter Henry. Now Gordon on first down. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Kill. Turn up.
From just shy of midfield, Rivers. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. T.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers and Rivers after the sack.
Hey, high 7. Mike 55. Let's go. Red. Check 4. Keep it skinny. Switch.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his 2nd season, James Conner. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
You got tight. You got tight. 61. Match box. White. Undercross. Alert, alert. Hey, Zoo.
On 2nd and 2, Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. 16 yards, a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 50-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Go that bench where we should go. Check 15. Watch twist. What's up? 59, what's up? 59, what's up?
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 27 yards there, a first down. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Greystone, travel.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, box truck.
From the 22, Roethlisberger. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 21 yards. They'll try to run it. This is Conner. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Step around 80. Black 15. Here we go. Shoot.
They go back to Gordon here on first down. It's a first down and more for Gordon. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Check it out,
And he connects with Vance McDonald. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Here we go, here we go. Wide 80. 57, come on. Here we go, here we go. 77.
On 2nd and 12, Roethlisberger throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bryant. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Here's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Roethlisberger. Screen pass to Connor. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Keeps himself upright. Out left side here to Bryant. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And Big Ben breaks a tackle, gets outside, and makes another play, huh? We've seen this from him plenty of times. It's not the first 3 seconds of a play for him.
It's the next 3.
That's when the big plays occur.
Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Jack 16. Small. 56 to Mark, boy. 56. Check 56. Watch twist.
Ben to throw again. And he finds McDonald. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 20-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Snicker. Crunch. Check 2 draw quarters. Here we go.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Connor, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite. Linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check 13. 44.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now Gordon. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing, Rivers. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
And the Chargers, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
We're okay. Round 80. It's our field.
On first down, it's Gordon. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 more on that one and another first down. Gordon, a Pro Bowler for the second time last season, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns, and that was only in 12 games played a season ago. And he also switched jersey numbers in the offseason from 28 to 25, and 25, that's the number he wore when he was dominating the Big Ten college gridiron for the Badgers of Wisconsin.
Hey, I'm gonna go load it. Load it. Hey, Delta. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. You must be slick.
First down, Rivers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Check 99. Check 99. Load it. Load it. 55 is my guy. 55. Watch 80 high. Wait, 80 high.
Back to the ground now with Gordon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Stephon Tuitt came out at Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Oh, here we go. Oh, check, 55 to Mike. Check, 55.
Rivers now for the 50. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
On third down, Rivers. Open man, it's Allen. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Ready? Hey, front 80. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
They'll run on first down. Gordon. Give him a couple on the carry there. Second and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
It's a party now. It's a party now. 50, all day, party. Mike 55, Mike 55. I got you. I got you.
From the 27, Rivers. Allen's got it over the middle. And an alley to run. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Ready. Black 15. You.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give them the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Rivers now to throw on first down. Green with a catch left side. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Badgley able to punch this one through. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. This fielded a few. Comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Throwing again on second down. Roethlisberger on the left side. It's McDonald. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Big loss here as he's taken down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And picked up by the Chargers.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Tighten down. There you go. Shit. Hey, Delta! 6-6, pull it high.
Rivers now after the fumble recovery. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Stay there. Stay there. 380. Red Delta.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Badgley's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because they didn't.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. To throw here, Roethlisberger. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. 49, check 49, check 49. Switch it, come on, switch it.
On 1st down, it's Gordon. And this time not quite to the 30, it'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Hey, 79! 79! Buzz! Hey! Mike, 55! Right there!
From the 31, Rivers. Man open left side, it's Williams. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And this is complete. It's Allen. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
White! Q.
Check 55 to Mike. Bring it.
Here's Rivers. And it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. To throw on 2nd and 6. Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
13 yards. First down, Pittsburgh.
Well, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
56.
And let's pin the mirrors back.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Ben leaves to counter on the draw. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
50. Hey, exit.
They'll try and run for it with Connor.
I got you, boy.
And they're able to get get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
All right, now. 180.
29 to Mike. Ready?
Show that bench release and go. 49.
You get locked me in. You get locked me in.
And some room to maneuver. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Here we go.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. To throw again on second down. Roethlisberger.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Quarter.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right.
Easy.
Check. Break down.
They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. And no, it's incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And all the way down to the 42. A big play there by Gordon. 54 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield.
Switch. Sponge.
They run on 1st down with Jackson. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. He's got daylight. The 30. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Tavecchio good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
26, Mike. 26, Mike. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And they're going to be set. Line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Looking to throw again on second down. Roethlisberger. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Switch. Hey, go orange.
The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Hey, 79. Hey, Delta. 26, Mike. Watch the run.
From the gun, Rivers. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
We got this. The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Desmond King making the tackle.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a draw play. This is Conner. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And he comes back with 1 complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn into a big gain.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 13-yard
at 180, 390.
Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed